In just a few weeks, San Antonians will decide the fate of the city's largest bond program in history. We're talking about more than 150 projects totaling $850 million. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Anaya breaks down some of the key points.
More than likely, you've probably seen one of these signs urging you to vote yes on the city's bonds. So what does that include? Well, it's all broken down into 6 propositions. The largest is Proposition 1 that calls for almost $500 million for improvements to streets, bridges, and sidewalks. Proposition 2 is for 19 projects that cover drainage and flood control improvements. 70% of bond funds would go to streets and drainage. Why so much for roads alone? Well, that's because they're in bad shape, for one, but also the city of San Antonio maintains about 4,000 miles of roadway. That's the equivalent of going to Seattle, Washington, and back. One area needing major help, this section of Broadway. $42 million is needed for curbs, sidewalks, lighting, and other improvements. Proposition 3 is for parks, recreation, and open space improvements, totaling close to $200 million. Brackenridge Park, for example, would see close to $8 million for general improvements and rehab. Proposition 4 covers improvements to libraries and cultural facilities. Proposition 5 calls for improvements to public safety facilities. And Proposition 6 is for neighborhood improvements.
The great thing about this bond is there's no tax rate increase.
Mike Frisbee is the director for the city's Transportation and Capital Improvements Department. While there's no tax increase for residents, it would require the city to borrow more money. What do you say to those that say, hey, the city's only incurring more debt?
Well, we're saying that it is built into the city's financial picture and it still keeps us in a good financial standing.
Phil Anaya, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
Coming up with the bond program was an extensive process with more than 24 meetings with 1,400 residents in attendance. The city says if approved, there's already about 10 projects they'll start on immediately.